Hey everyone, Scott here to discuss Despicable Me 2, featuring the voices of Steve Carell, Kristen Wiig, Benjamin Bratt, Miranda Cosgrove, Russell Brand, Coogan, Ken Jeong, Elsie Fitcher, Dana Gainzer, and Moises Arias, and directed by Chris Renaud and Pierre Coffin. Now, this was the movie that came out before my birthday in 2000. I think it was 13, 14. I can't remember, but it was funny because that was the movie that I would have seen if it weren't for my friends going, "Oh, I don't want to see that movie." But hey, I'm here to review it now, so let's get into it. The mysterious new villain called El Macho is actually stealing metal and Gru's minions was a good but not a great way to open the film. Well, the minions doesn't come till later, but Gru, voiced by Steve Carell, hires but can't get the fairy princess for Agnes's birthday party, but he pretends to be the fairy princess, who was actually funny because first of all, he calls her Gruzinkabel. It was pretty clever. I was buzzing up laughing at that. We get introduced to Lucy Wilde, voiced by Kristen Wiig, who wasn't she Miss Hattie last time? That doesn't matter. Who is in the AVL, aka the Anti-Villain League, who is a lovable character and is here to work with Gru in a mission bringing the mystery villain, who shall be El Macho, down to justice. We get introduced to the AVL leader Cyrus Ramsbottom, voiced by Steve Coogan, who he and Lucy recruits Gru to get the mystery villain, who is hiding in a mall called Paradise Mall, which is kind of clever. And his character is kind of funny, is a funny way to make fun of his name, like the Minions do earlier in the movie, for example. First of all, bottom, as they do it in the movie. We get introduced to Eduardo, aka Macho, voiced by Benjamin Bratt, who owns a Mexican restaurant, and Gru senses a familiar face to the past called El Macho, who was the greatest villain of all time 20 years ago. The song Happy by Pharrell Williams is a little too overrated of a song, just in my opinion. Margot and El Macho's son have this fake romance that doesn't last until the party scene near the end of the movie. That horrible jelly that Gru invented earlier in the film, turns out it can cure to those purple minions that El Macho steals during the film, which looks creepy and dark. But that fight when Gru and the giant hairy El Macho, which kind of reminded me of a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, was cliche. I love the wedding song where Gru and Lucy get married and the minions sing "I Swear" or YMCA. Was a cute moment. The ending sequence setting up the Minions movie, which I'll be getting to that next week, is a funny way to end the film, in my personal opinion. So it's time for the rating. I'll give this movie a 6.5 out of 10. It wasn't as good as the first one, but had some funny moments, and the story was good, but not great. So I'll be back next week at least, with the Minions movie. So, till next time.